The town of Black Hollow looked like any quiet American suburb at first glance. Tree-lined streets, warm porch lights, and friendly neighbors who waved as you passed by. But people didn't stay long in Black Hollow, and those who did stopped asking questions. Ethan Carter had just moved there with his wife and two kids, Lily 8 and Noah 6. It was supposed to be a fresh start, a cheaper house, a safer neighborhood, and a peaceful life. But peace in Black Hollow came at a price. The neighbor on their first night, while unpacking boxes, Ethan noticed the house next door. It was old, far older than any house on the street. Its paint was peeling, the windows always covered, and the front yard strangely clean. Not a leaf out of place. And standing on the porch was a woman. She looked young, too young, maybe in her early 30s. Pale skin, long black hair, and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She waved. Ethan waved back uneasy. "Who's that?" his wife Sarah asked. "Oh, no idea," Ethan replied. "But she's been staring at us for a while." Well, that night as Ethan closed the curtains, he noticed something strange. The woman hadn't moved. The warning the next morning, an old man approached Ethan while he was getting the mail. "And new here?" the man asked. "Yeah, just moved in yesterday." The man nodded slowly, then leaned closer. "Stay away from the house next door," Ethan chuckled. "Why? Weird neighbor?" The old man didn't smile. "She's been here longer than anyone. Longer than me, and I've lived here 40 years. Ethan frowned. So people who get close to her, the man paused. They change or disappear. Before Ethan could ask more, the old man walked away. The first visit that evening, there was a knock on the door. Ethan opened it. It was her. "Hi," she said softly. "I'm Elena. Your neighbor." Her voice was calm, almost hypnotic. "Ethan," he replied. Nice to meet you." Her eyes shifted past him, toward the kids playing in the living room. "And they're beautiful," she whispered. Ethan felt a chill. "Thank you. I love children," she added, smiling wider. "They have such pure energy." Something about the way she said it made Ethan uncomfortable. "Oh, well, we're still settling in." "I understand," she interrupted. "But if you ever need help, especially with the kids, I'm always here." She turned and walked away. Ethan shut the door quickly. The night sounds that night. Ethan woke up at 2:17 a.m. He didn't know why. Then he heard it. A faint whisper coming from outside. He got up and looked through the window. Elena's house. Lights were on, but not normal lights. A strange flickering glow, like candles. And then he saw them. Figures, small figures, standing in a circle around her. Children, dozens of them. They weren't moving. They were just standing there, watching her. Elena stood in the center, her arms raised, whispering something in a language Ethan didn't understand. And then all the children turned their heads at the same time, toward Ethan. Their eyes were completely black. Lily's new friend the next day. Lily came running to Ethan. "Dad, I made a new friend." Ethan smiled nervously. "Who?" "Miss Elena. She came over while you were sleeping." Ethan froze. "Is she what?" "She gave me a doll," Lily said happily, holding up a small handmade doll with black hair and stitched eyes. Ethan's stomach dropped. "Lily, did Mom let her in?" "Aha!" "Oh no," Lily said. "She said she didn't need doors." The doll that night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong. Yeah. At 3:03 a.m., he heard giggling. He followed the sound to Lily's room. She was asleep, but the doll was sitting upright on her chest, facing him. Its head slowly turned. Ethan stumbled back. The doll's stitched mouth began to open, wider than it should. And from inside came a whisper. "She's getting weaker. We need more." Ethan grabbed the doll and threw it out the window. The whispering stopped. But when he looked back at Lily, her skin looked pale and her breathing slower. The truth the next day, Ethan went back to the old man. "I need answers," he demanded. The old man sighed. "She feeds on them." "On kids? Not their bodies," the man said. "Their life." Ethan frowned. "What does that mean?" She stays young by taking what they have, their time, their years." Ethan's heart raced. "How?" "Rituals," the man replied. "Objects, connections. Once she bonds with a child, it begins." Ethan thought of the doll. "How do I stop it?" The old man looked at him seriously. "You don't." The breaking point that night, Lily got worse. She couldn't stand. Her eyes were dull, and she kept whispering, "She's calling me." Ethan snapped. He grabbed a flashlight and ran next door. He kicked open Elena's door. Inside, the walls were covered with drawings, children's drawings, hundreds of them, all signed with different names, dates going back decades. In the center of the room was Elena. She was older now, much older, wrinkled, frail, barely standing. But as Ethan watched, her skin began to tighten. Her posture straightened. Her hair darkened. She was getting younger, and around her, ghostly figures of children appeared, including Lily Gum. "The ritual is stop," Ethan shouted. Elena smiled. "You're too late." Ethan ran forward, grabbing anything he could, candles, drawings, objects, and throwing them aside. The room shook. The ghostly children began screaming. Elena's face twisted. "You don't understand," she screamed. "I need them." Ethan found a small wooden box. Inside, dozens of dolls, each one identical to Lily's. He smashed it. The screams intensified. The ghostly children began fading. Elena collapsed. Her body aged rapidly, decades in seconds. No, no," she cried, then silence. The aftermath: the next morning, the house next door was gone. Completely, as if it had never existed. Lily woke up, healthy, smiling. "Dad," she said, "I had a bad dream." Ethan hugged her tightly. "It's over," he whispered. But as he looked outside, he saw something that made his blood run cold. Across the street, a new house, and on the porch, a woman. Young, pale, smiling. She waved. "Some monsters don't chase you, they move next door."